Fun to be sitting up here after a successful outing last night. I give our kids a lot of credit. The ups and downs of a young team and a road veteran team here. It's not always easy to come to work every day and put in the effort and the attention to detail that they are doing without seeing the payoff on the scoreboard. And so for that, I was very happy that we were able to get that W yesterday to, in some respects, give them a little boost of confidence that the growth that they're seeing and the effort that they're putting in is actually that.
The success of your team on the glass so far this year, you're one of the top rebounding teams in the Summit League right now with 40.3 rebounds per game.
I think that's more of a desire than necessarily a skill. And when you put somebody like Emily Spear who embraces that, she wants to be a double-double kid. She sees that 8.5 rebounds, 9 rebounds were lost when Marina graduated, and she wanted to take that part of that responsibility on. I think Bree Jones also increased that, but then somebody like Riley Jacobson, who is a great rebounder. That's something that she did very well in high school. And so the three of them, coupled with the length of Autumn, the tenacity of Riley Nudell, it's not just the post players, but the attention to detail and the desire to want to go after the basketball gets us extra possessions on offense, which are very, very needed, and then can help limit ourselves on how much defense we have to play when we can get the defensive rebounds.
Saying whatever that adversity sometimes brings out the best in you. You're expected to beat Mayville State. We know that, but you beat them real good. Beat them better than other teams that are on the same kind of level of you have beat them. Obviously, you don't read too much into that. You go into the game with 8 players. Did that help you?
I think we went into 8 players, and the fact that we did it last year helped us. That's probably more than anything. I mean, when they look at the bench and there's 3 kids, like nobody thought anything of it. That's normal. Unfortunately, we've been in that situation. But I think kind of what you're talking about is how we played versus an NAIA opponent, a very good opponent, and how we played versus another NAIA opponent earlier in the season. I think you saw 2 very different NDSU teams. And again, it goes back to the very brutal non-conference schedule that we put together, and that's 100% on us. But being able to stay true to who we are, come into work every single day, improve individually and as a team. You saw very different, in a very positive way, a faster, a more selfless team. 22 assists on 33 made field goals. I mean, that hasn't happened all year for us. And so for us to be able to share the basketball and see each other's strengths and help to work to put each other in positions to be successful, I think is the biggest, speaks the loudest for our growth over our non-conference schedule that, was very challenging.
Anything stand out to you about RJ in her first start?
You never want to surprise kids. I don't think that's good. But sometimes when you tell kids too much, they can get in their own way. I go back to our Milwaukee game. She doesn't know that Bree and Emily are going to get in foul trouble, but yet when called upon and there's no other option, she doesn't think about it and she plays fantastic. We didn't tell her she was going to start until about 35 minutes before the game last night. And that wasn't to catch her off guard, but that was to put her in a situation where you have to do this. And you don't have time to think, to be nervous, to worry, to ask a million questions. You have time to pull yourself together and go play basketball. And I think that's exactly what she did. She's a confident kid. She plays hard. She doesn't get too up. She doesn't get too down. But at the same time, she doesn't know any better because she's a freshman. And so I was very happy with how she took the opportunity. She made the most of it and had a great double-double. And I thought, she demonstrated to her teammates, what she's capable of, whether she starts or comes off the bench.
Coach, can you touch on the passing ability of Sarah Jacobson so far this year? I believe she had a career-high 8 assists last night, and she also ranks 3rd in the Summit League with 4.5 assists per game. So kind of just touch on her ability to pass the basketball.
Sarah views herself, sees herself, and always has and always will as a point guard. And she takes that job, that responsibility very seriously. She works extremely hard with Morgan Page on her ball strength, on watching film, in a number of ways, but one, how can I help Taylor get a better shot? How can I help Bree or Emily get a better shot or Kennedy get a better shot? So it's her ability to know her receivers and how they need to and want to catch the ball. She works hard at it, but at the end of the day, she just wants to be a distributor. She understands that she can score and she looks to score, but she takes pride in the overall aspect of the game. And I think it's great to see her get excited for those assists just as much as she does for a made basket. But she puts a lot of work into it and she takes it very seriously.
Do you like her ability to distribute? Would you like to see her score more? Is she scoring enough for you?
Right now, I think she's scoring the way that we need her to score. Is she capable of putting up more numbers? Yes. Is that what our team needs right now? I don't think so. I think her role and where she fits in is to be able to do a little bit of everything. Because of numbers yesterday, we didn't have a whole lot of post play, and we're running zone offense, and we need somebody at the high post. And we've got 4 guards running around the perimeter, and Bree Jones trying to figure out how she can be in 2 places at one time. And so Sarah just runs right up to the high post, and it's like, you're 5'9". Who's going to be able to get you the ball, and what the heck are you going to be able to do with it there? But she's willing to do whatever it takes for the team to be successful. And I kind of gave her a hard time. She's like, well, coach, nobody was there, so I went. And I love that mentality and that selflessness of, what I look like at the high post is different than other people, but I can do something positive for our team there. And I think that is kind of Sarah in a nutshell.
Taylor Thunstead, she's currently leading the nation in three-point field goals, but she's also shooting at a 40% clip from the three-point line. I mean, what does that say about a person who shoot that many but still shoot a good percentage from the three-point line? Taylor
is a natural shooter. There's not much wrong with the upper half when she touches the ball. I think that speaks to who she is and the time that she puts in. Things that when she is unsuccessful, we're all amazed that she misses a shot here or there. But when that does happen, we often talk about her lower half, the balance, how far her feet are apart, how much knee bend that she has, so she can shoot that same pure shot every single time. And I give that kid a lot of credit. It's a lot of natural ability that she's worked hard to perfect and refine. But there's a lot of us who would never be able to shoot like she does, no matter how much time we put in the gym.
Chance at a kind of a tournament-like setting away from home. Excited for that?
Yeah. Looking at our schedule again, we were so excited to have 2 home games in a row, and now we're going to pack our bags and hopefully get a couple kids back from injury, and we'll go on a road trip after finals are over. So there'll be an element of relief or less stress from the academic perspective, which we've got some nursing kids, we've got some microbiology kids, and we've got kids taking incredibly difficult classes and doing very well in them. So to be able to get away, go a little bit warmer. We're a little upset it's only like 55 there, but still warmer than here. Take a couple days to continue to grow and to build some consistency. Will be exciting. Two tough opponents in Grand Valley and Santa Barbara. So it's not, we're not getting any easier, but definitely with some additional confidence that we gained last night, more practices this week, and we'll be excited to go to Texas.
Off the court, it's finals week, and for those freshmen, that's a new experience. You have to kind of, I guess maybe some of the older players kind of have to give them, the routine for a week like this?
A little bit. Yesterday, Riley Jacobson and Anna had their own shoot-around at a separate time. Their finals they had a final from 3:30 to 5:30. They showed up not with the team. They didn't eat with the team. They were on their academic schedule, and when they showed up, the team understood where they were and just were to bring them along in whatever time, part of the timeline they showed up at. And so it does fall on the upperclassmen to kind of help them out, but it falls on the coaches too to make sure that the perspective is on your academics and the basketball can fit around that wherever it works. So we are off today. Nothing's happening today. And then they have a lift on Wednesday. And then between Wednesday and Thursday, around their studying and around their finals, they need to get an individual workout in with their position coach. And then when finals are all over, on Friday, we'll have another team practice. So we as a staff kind of take a step back this week and allow them to continue with their academics as normal. And then we'll add the basketball component on before we get to watch Marina graduate on Friday, and that'll be fun. Her mom's in town It'll be a big day for Marina Whittle on Friday.